Hello and welcome to my channel. You're watching Hydroponic 101. In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how you can mix your nutrient water for your hydroponic plants. What you're going to need is half a teaspoon of some type of measuring tools, a little cup, some tap water, and these eye drop. If you have a syringe that can measure up to 5 milliliter, then that will work just fine. But I ordered these, a couple of these online for a few bucks, and they work pretty quicker than a syringe, and they measure up to 5 milliliters. The ingredient you're going to need comes from General Hydroponics nutrients. They usually come in a package, pink, purple, and green. The one that I got and I started with hydroponics is Flora Bloom, Flora Micro, and Flora Grow. They work very well for me. So this is the preferred ingredient that I use for my hydroponic plants. The other thing is optional that you want to try. It's called CalMag. It's calcium magnesium. I use it and it works pretty well for me also, so that's optional. And one more thing is your Epsom salt, also sometimes called magnesium sulfate. There's many different brands, but any of them will work just fine. Now what you want to do is get your measuring device, half a tablespoon of Epsom salt. Make sure you got it up to the level. You pour it into this little cup, and also around the house, usually if you have milk in the refrigerator, I usually keep the container is exactly 1 gallon. I wash it, make sure you rinse it so it doesn't get contaminated, and all you need to do is use tap water. I don't use purified water or anything like that. If you watch other tutorials, they might tell you to use filtered water, but tap water just works just as fine for me. So what you want to do is fill it up to the 1 gallon and pour it a little bit into the cup, so that way you can stir it until it completely dissolves in the water. While you're doing that, to pour it back into the gallon, just get some type of funnel. Most kitchen has these little funnel that you can use. Also make sure you rinse it so you don't get any food contaminated into the solution, the nutrient water. And if you don't have one, 99-cent store has a whole bunch of that if you want to save money. So you want to stir the Epsom salt until it's completely dissolved. How you can tell if you don't see any grains of salt left in your cup or your bowl, then it's dissolved. So what you want to do is, once you're done with that, just pour it back into the 1 gallon container. Make sure you use the same water that you fill up to 1 gallon. Don't add any more water to this, because when you add extra water and you fill it up into the container, it's not exactly 1 gallon. So the solution is made for 1 gallon. Next, the cup of water with the eye drop, you want to make sure you rinse everything out. So every time you add the solution, you want to rinse it in the water so that way it doesn't contaminate the other. Now, some video will tell you to start with a certain nutrient. It really doesn't matter, because you're gonna mix it all into the same container. So what you want to do is give it a good shake. I just purchased these because the other one that I bought ran out. I use it for almost a year, so they last pretty long, but the other bottle is actually smaller than this one. So this is how I start. I start with green, pink, purple. So I just go down that order. So measure 5 milliliter. Squeeze it, let it come up to exactly 5 milliliter. As you can see right here, 5 milliliter. And then just drop it in to rinse it out. Now normally when you rinse it out, I shouldn't have done that. You want to rinse it out into your sink. Refill that up with some new water, so that way you don't contaminate the other. The contamination is for the bottle purposes only, not for the mix. So you don't want to mix, one of the flora ingredient with the other one. So that's the only reason why you rinse the eye drop. So that's done. Now I'm going to the Flora Bloom. Sorry, I should have taken this out earlier, but and they put this really tight. There we go. Careful, don't overexert yourself, you might spill it. So same thing goes. Measure up to 5 milliliter. I mean, it doesn't have to be really perfect. As long as you get to the line, you're fine. Squeeze it in there. You want to rinse it out. Once you're done, just make sure you close the cap back right away. And then the last Flora Credium is the purple one. Now, this one is like a dye, so be careful. You don't want to stain your clothes or anything. So 5 milliliter. Shake it so it drips into the bottle itself, and then squeeze it into your container. Okay, I'm gonna rinse this out one more time. You can do it like twice, would be good. Seal it up. And the last ingredient that I add on is that the calcium magnesium. Again, like I said, it's optional, but you can use it if you want to. It really does help your plant to grow when you're doing hydroponics. With this one, it has a little smell to it, but it's not that bad. So if you use the eye drop and it doesn't go up to the 5 milliliter, you can just squeeze it back in and make sure you have enough squeeze into the tip of the eye drop to suck up the nutrient for up to 5 milliliters. See, this is the reason why you want to rinse out your eye drop, because sometimes you have to squeeze it back into the container itself. So here I got, if you have a little bit over, that's just fine. Once you're done with that, tighten up your bottle and just give it a good shake. See, if you see all the nutrient is at the bottom, so you want to give it a good shake. The right color that comes out is a little bit pinkish, so that's the right mixture. If you do this nutrient water will be very good, very healthy for your plant if you're growing it hydroponically, as I say it. So this doesn't really expire. What I do is I don't just do 1 gallon. I have 4 different gallon where I mix it all at the same time. So when you start hydroponic and you end up with a lot of plants, once they start to grow to a certain size, they're going to be absorbing the nutrient a lot. So you want to have these ready, because you don't want to keep on mixing them every other day or every week. So four 1 gallon bottle container, lasts me, I say a month, depending on how many hydroponic plants you are growing. But that is it. So it's very easy. 5 milliliter pretty much, and the only thing for all the ingredient except the salt. The salt is half a tablespoon. So 5 milliliter is about 1 tablespoon. The only thing that is half of that is your salt. Well, that it concludes for today's tutorial. If you have any comment or question, please leave it in the description below, in the comment below. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you think this is helpful. Hit a notification, and if you find it very helpful, please don't forget to smash that like button. I'll see you on the next tutorial.